A life unforgettable. Tupac Shakur, more than a rapper. Tupac Shakur was more than just a rapper. He was a poet, an actor, and a revolutionary. Born Lassane Parish Crooks in 1971, Tupac's life was a complex mix of talent, struggle, and ultimately tragedy. His music gave voice to the voiceless, speaking to the pain, frustration, and anger of a generation. He transcended the boundaries of hip-hop, becoming a cultural icon whose influence continues to resonate today. Tupac's lyrics were raw and unflinching. He spoke truth to power, challenging social injustices and demanding change. His music was a reflection of his life, marked by poverty, violence, and imprisonment. But even in the darkness, Tupac's spirit shone through. He had a charisma and intensity that was impossible to ignore. Tupac's impact on hip-hop cannot be overstated. He pushed the boundaries of the genre, infusing his music with social commentary and political awareness. He wasn't afraid to tackle controversial topics, and his lyrics sparked dialogue and debate. Tupac's influence can still be felt in the music of today's artists, who continue to draw inspiration from his life and legacy. This essay will delve into the life and times of Tupac Shakur. We will explore his childhood, his rise to fame, his struggles, and his triumphs. We will examine his music, his message, and his enduring impact on the world. This is the story of Tupac Shakur, a legend who changed hip-hop forever. Roots of a revolutionary early life and Black Panther influences. Tupac's early life was deeply intertwined with the Black Panther Party. His mother, Afeni Shakur, was a prominent member. She instilled in him a strong sense of social justice and a deep understanding of the struggles faced by Black Americans. Growing up surrounded by activists and revolutionaries shaped Tupac's worldview and fueled his passion for change. Born in East Harlem, New York City, Tupac experienced poverty and hardship firsthand. These early experiences left an indelible mark on him, shaping his perspective and informing his music. He witnessed the effects of systemic racism and economic inequality, which fueled his anger and frustration. Despite the challenges he faced, Tupac found solace in the arts. He attended the Baltimore School for the Arts, where he studied acting, poetry, and dance. It was here that he began to develop his artistic talents and find his voice. Tupac's love for language and storytelling blossomed during this time, laying the foundation for his future success as a rapper and songwriter. The Black Panther Party's influence on Tupac extended beyond his mother's involvement. He was exposed to their teachings and ideology, which emphasized self-reliance, Black empowerment, and resistance against oppression. These principles resonated deeply with Tupac and became central themes in his music. He saw hip-hop as a platform to amplify the voices of the marginalized and challenge the status quo. Finding his voice, Tupac's first steps in music. Tupac's journey into music began in his teenage years. He started as a roadie and dancer for the alternative hip-hop group Digital Underground. This experience provided him with valuable insight into the music industry and allowed him to hone his skills as a performer. His big break came in 1991 when he was featured on Digital Underground's song, Same Song. Tupac's raw talent and undeniable charisma were evident from the start. He quickly gained recognition for his distinctive voice, thought-provoking lyrics, and captivating stage presence. That same year, Tupac released his debut solo album, 2Pacalypse Now. The album was a critical and commercial success, establishing him as a major force in the hip-hop world. 2Pacalypse Now tackled social issues head-on, addressing police brutality, poverty, and racism, with an unflinching honesty that resonated with listeners across the country. Tupac's music struck a chord with a generation disillusioned by social injustice and economic inequality. He became a voice for the voiceless, articulating the anger, frustration, and hopes of marginalized communities. His lyrics were both confrontational and empowering, challenging listeners to confront the realities of their world and fight for a better future. Section 4.2. Pacalypse Now, a voice for the voiceless. 2Pacalypse Now wasn't just an album, it was a statement. It announced the arrival of an artist who refused to be silenced. Tupac's lyrics were raw, honest, and unflinching. He spoke about the realities of life in the ghetto, the struggles of Black youth, and the systemic injustices that plagued his community. The album's lead single, Brenda's Got a Baby, told the heart-wrenching story of a young girl who becomes pregnant and turns to prostitution to survive. It was a powerful indictment of poverty, lack of opportunity, and the cycle of despair that trapped so many young people. Trapped was another standout track, addressing police brutality and racial profiling. Tupac's lyrics reflected the anger and frustration felt by many Black Americans who were constantly harassed and targeted by law enforcement. He rapped about the feeling of being trapped in a system designed to keep them down. Tupacalypse Now sparked controversy, with some critics accusing Tupac of inciting violence. However, his supporters argued that he was simply holding up a mirror to society, reflecting the harsh realities that many people chose to ignore. Tupac himself maintained that his music was a reflection of the world he saw around him, not an endorsement of violence. The album's impact was undeniable. It established Tupac as a leading voice of his generation, a rapper who wasn't afraid to speak truth to power and address the issues that others shied away from. Tupacalypse Now remains a powerful and relevant album, a testament to Tupac's ability to connect with listeners on a visceral level and inspire social change through his music. Section 5, Against the World. Music, Controversy, and Imprisonment. As Tupac's fame grew, so did the controversy surrounding him. His lyrics, often critical of law enforcement and the justice system, drew the ire of conservative politicians and commentators. They accused him of inciting violence and glorifying a life of crime, despite Tupac's insistence that he was merely reflecting the realities of his environment. In 1993, Tupac released his second studio album, Strictly For My Niggas. The album further cemented his status as a hip-hop icon, achieving platinum status and spawning hit singles like Keep Ya Head Up and I Get Around. Keep Ya Head Up became an anthem for women struggling against oppression and misogyny, showcasing Tupac's ability to address social issues with both sensitivity and power. However, Tupac's legal troubles continued to escalate. He faced a series of assault charges, and in 1995 he was convicted of sexual abuse. Tupac vehemently maintained his innocence, claiming that he was the victim of a setup. He was sentenced to prison, a turning point in his life and career. Despite being incarcerated, Tupac's creativity flourished. He continued to write and record music, releasing his third album, Me Against the World, while behind bars. The album topped the charts, becoming the first #1 album by an artist serving a prison sentence. Me Against the World delved into themes of betrayal, paranoia, and the struggle for survival, reflecting Tupac's state of mind during this tumultuous period. Section 6, Death Row and Destiny, All Eyes on Me and a Career's Pinnacle. In 1995, Tupac's life took another dramatic turn when he was bailed out of prison by Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records. In exchange for his freedom, Tupac signed a 3-album deal with the Notorious label, known for its roster of hardcore rappers and its aggressive business practices. Joining Death Row placed Tupac at the epicenter of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry that had been brewing in hip-hop. Death Row, based in Los Angeles, became embroiled in a bitter feud with Bad Boy Records, a New York-based label headed by Sean Puff Daddy Combs. Tupac became a central figure in the rivalry, engaging in public feuds with Biggie Smalls, the Notorious Big, and other East Coast rappers. Despite the escalating tensions, Tupac's creative output reached new heights during his time on Death Row. In 1996, he released his 4th studio album, All Eyes on Me. The double-disc album was a massive commercial success, selling over 10 million copies and solidifying Tupac's status as a global superstar. All Eyes on Me showcased Tupac's versatility as an artist, blending hardcore gangsta rap with introspective tracks and socially conscious anthems. The album produced hit singles like California Love, How Do You Want It, and Dear Mama, a heartfelt tribute to his mother. All Eyes on Me remains one of the most iconic and influential hip-hop albums of all time, a testament to Tupac's raw talent and undeniable charisma.